Hey, what's up guys, it's DarkArmedDuelist and technically doing a Red Dragon Archfiend deck profile. So I'm really excited to do this for you guys because this deck summons out some of the most powerful dragon synchro monsters in the entire game, like Red Dragon Archfiend and all of its amazing forms. So without further ado guys, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell there so you can become part of Notification Squad, and definitely check out the Patreon down in the description below for all those awesome rewards, like getting your name scratched in every single video, getting assigned cards in the mail, and even getting to request a deck profile every single month to your patron. So without further ado, let's get straight on into this. So first off, we're going to be playing 3 copies of Crimson Resonator, which is one of the most powerful cards in the entire deck. That if you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. And if the only other monster that you control is exactly one Dark Dragon Synchro monster, you can special summon it to 2 Resonator monsters from your hand or deck. You can accept another copy of this card, which is a super good effect to be able to combo with your copy of Red Rising Dragon, because with this card and any level 4 monster, you can actually get out Red Supernova Dragon. By just special summoning this card out to your side of the field, normal summoning out your copy of your level 4 monster, you synchro into Red Rising, use Red Rising's effect, bring this card back from the graveyard to your field, then use this card's effect to bring out 2 more Resonator monsters that equal 12, and synchro all the monsters together to be able to make Red Supernova Dragon, which is super awesome. We then play 3 copies of Red Resonator. Red Resonator is a really good 3 on the deck that when this card is normal summoned, you can special summon a level 4 or lower monster from your hand, which will help you get into your copy of Red Rising Dragon so that you can go in for all sorts of different plays. This card also has the ability that when this card is special summoned, you can target a face-up monster on the field and then gain life points equal to its attack, which can help you out a lot in time. We then play 2 copies of Synchron Resonator. This card is a really good 2 of them in the deck because it is a level 1 Resonator monster, and it has the ability if a Synchro monster is on the field, then you can special summon this card from your hand, and you can only special summon this card once per turn this way. And if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, then you can target a Resonator monster in your graveyard and add it back to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a super good effect to be able to grab one of your Resonators back out of the grave, so you can have some follow-up plays later. We then play a single copy of Creation Resonator. This card is a great 1-up that if you control a level 8 or higher synchro monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. We then play a single copy of Chain Resonator. Chain Resonator is a great 1-up in the deck because it is a level 1. And it also has the ability that when this card is normal summon, while a synchro monster is on the field, you can special summon a Resonator monster from your deck, which can help you go in for all sorts of different synchro plays. We then play 3 copies of Wandering King Wildwind. This card is a great 3-of in the deck because it has the ability to control a Fiend-type tuner monster with 15 or less attack. You can special summon this card from your hand, which is great to combo with your copies of Red Resonator just in case you get basically impermed or veilered on your copy of Red Resonator. You can still special summon out this card, which is really cool. And if you attempt this, you can't special summon monsters from the extract for the rest of the turn except synchro monsters. And then during your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from the graveyard and then add a Fiend type tuner with 15 or less attack from your deck to your hand, which is essentially any of your Resonator monsters, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Witch of the Black Forest. This card is super good in the deck because when you synchro summon using this card and it touches the graveyard from the field, you get to add a monster with 15 or less attack or 15 or less defense, from your deck to your hand. But you cannot activate effects of the monster that you add for the rest of the turn, which is not that big of a deal because it's just setting you up for more plays later. But being able to use that ability that if it's sent from the field to the graveyard, you get to add a monster with 15 or less defense from your deck to your hand is just really good to be able to grab any of the cards that you need for combos later. I then play 3 copies of Skullmeister. This card is super good right now and is a level 4 Fiend monster, which is really good to help us go in for all sorts of synchro plays, but also use this card as a hand trap because it has the ability when a card is activated in your opponent's graveyard, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard to negate that effect. This card is really good to be able to search off your copy of Witch of the Black Forest so that during your opponent's turn, if they try to do anything in the graveyard, you can basically just use this as a hand trap to stop them, which is really cool. We then play 3 copies of Psyreflector. Psyreflector is really good with our Assault Mode package because this card helps you get out any level that you need onto your side of the field. Because if this card is normal or special summon, you get to add an Assault Mode Activate or one card that specifically lists Assault Mode Activate in its text from your deck to your hand, except another copy of this card, which you're always adding from deck to hand your copy of Assault Beast with this effect, which is really cool. You can also reveal an Assault Mode Activate in your hand and then target one monster in your graveyard that specifically list Assault Mode activate, and its text, except another copy of this card, special summon and Envy increase its level by 1 to 4, depending on what you need for your synchro play, which the card you're always special summoning is your copy of Assault Beast, which we play as a 1-of in the deck. This card has a super simple effect that you discard this card to the graveyard to get to add an Assault Mode activate from your deck to your hand. We then play 3 copies of Bysteel Magnuma. This card is really good in the deck because it has the ability that if there's a light or dark monster in either player's graveyard, you can banish 1 light or dark monster from the graveyard, and if you do, special summon this card from your hand. And it's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster, which all of your Bysteel monsters actually share that ability. It also has the ability, if this card is special summoned, you can activate this effect that during the end phase of this turn, you get to add a dragon monster from your deck or graveyard to your hand, except another copy of this card, which is a card we're always searching all of this card's effect, is our copy of Druis Worm. Druis Worm is a really good 2-of in the deck because it has the ability, just like your copy of your Magnuma, that if there's a light or dark monster in the graveyard, you can target one of those monsters in either player's grave, banish it, and if you do, special summon this card. It's a quick effect if your opponent controls a monster. This card is a really good spot removal effect because if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can target a special summon monster that your opponent controls and send it to the grave, which is a really good effect. So that's it for the monsters, guys. Let's get into the spells. So for the spells, we're going to be playing a single copy of Monster Reborn. Monster Reborn is a really good one in the deck just to extend your plays and get the exact card you need on the field when you need it. We then play a single copy of 1 for 1. 1 for 1 helps us get our copy of our Sire Reflector onto our side of the field so that we can go in for all of our really good synchro monsters. We then play 2 copies of Resonator Command. Resonator Command is really good just in case you don't have a Fiend monster in your hand, because it lets you discard a Resonator monster and a level 4 lower Fiend monster from your deck to your hand, which is a really good effect. We then play 3 copies of Resonator Call. Resonator Call is a definite 3-of in the deck because it lets you add any Resonator monster from your deck to your hand, which can help you out with all sorts of synchro plays. We then play 3 copies of E-Telly. E-Telly is really good in the deck because it lets you special summon out your copy of your Sire Reflector to your side of the field directly from the deck, which is really awesome. So that's it for the spells, guys. Let's get into the traps. So for the traps, we're going to be playing a single copy of Assault Mode Activate, which is going to work with our copy of Sire Reflector, which is why we play this card as a 1-of. We're never summoning an Assault Mode monster in the deck, but it's still really good to be able to reveal with your copy of Sire Reflector, so you can bring back your copy of Assault Beast back from the graveyard. We then play a single copy of Red Rain. Red Rain is just an extremely powerful trap card that works with your copy of Red Dragon Archfiend. It's just a fantastic card overall in the deck. So that's it for the traps, guys, and the main deck. Let's get into the extra deck. So for the extra deck, we're going to be playing 2 copies of Scarlight Red Dragon Archfiend. This card is a great combo piece for the deck, and it always is treated as a Red Dragon Archfiend while it's on the field or in the graveyard. And once per turn, you can destroy as many special summon effect monsters on the field as possible with attack less than or equal to this card's other than this card, and then inflict 500 points of damage to your opponent for each monster destroyed, which is an extremely powerful effect to be able to basically board wipe the monsters besides this card and then do burn damage against the opponent. This card can still attack even if you activate that effect, which is really insane. We then play a single copy of Red Supernova Dragon. Supernova Dragon is insanely powerful and takes 3 tuner monsters to be able to summon to your side of the field, and 1 non-tuner synchro monster to be able to summon this card. But getting to your copy of your Crimson Resonator with any level 4 monster makes it super easy to be able to instantly synchro summon into this card, which is really cool. And it must be synchro summon and gains 500 attack for each tuner monster in your graveyard and cannot be destroyed by your opponent's card effects, which is really cool because basically when this card touches the field, it comes out at 5,500. It also has the ability once per turn, when your opponent's monster effect is activated or when your opponent's monster declares an attack, quick effect, you can activate this effect that you banish this card and also banish cards that your opponent controls, everything that your opponent controls, which is just really crazy that you pretty much get to board wipe your opponent. It also has the ability once per turn during the end phase after this card was banished by its own effect, special summon this card during that next end phase, which is really cool to just instantly get this boss monster back and be able to use its effect again. We then play a single copy of King Calamity, which is just a really good boss monster to play in the deck that pretty much cold waves your opponent on summon, which which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Bane. Bane is a good one-of in the deck. I don't feel like you need any more than a single copy of Bane with the other monsters that I'm playing in the extra deck, but it has a really good effect that you can tribute a monster and target a Red Dragon Archfiend monster in your graveyard and special summon it. And when this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent, you can special summon out 2 tuner monsters with the same level, one from your deck and one from your graveyard in defense position, which is a great effect just to instantly get you 2 tuners on your side of the field so that you can climb with your monsters. We then play a single copy of Tyrant Red Dragon Archfiend, which is a crazy powerful boss monster for the deck that has 2 insanely powerful effects that during your main phase, you can destroy all other cards on the field. Also, for the rest of the turn, other monsters you control cannot attack. And then during either player's battle phase, when a spell trap card is activated, you can negate the activation. If you do, destroy that card, and then if you do that, this card gains 500 attack points permanently. We then play a single copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend Abyss. This card is a walking negate, which is why I play it as a one-of in the deck for any card on the field, because it can target any face-up card, which is really cool. I then play a single copy of Hot Red Dragon Archfiend. This card is super good in the deck and a really good one-of because it has the ability that once per turn, during your main phase 1, you can destroy all other face-up attack position monsters on the field. And monsters other than this card cannot attack the turn you activate this effect. I like to make this card if my opponent has a monster that has higher than 3,000 attack points that I can destroy on the field, and I can't destroy it with my copy of Scarlight. I can destroy it with this, which is why I play this card as a one-of in this build. I'm then playing 3 copies of Red Rising Dragon. This card is insanely powerful and has a really good effect that when this card is synchro summoned, you can target a Resonator monster in your graveyard and special summon it. But you can't special summon monsters from the extra deck the turn you activate this effect except Dark Dragon synchro monsters, which is pretty much all we're playing in the extract anyways, so that's not that big of a deal. But this card basically gets you your copy of your red Supernova Dragon if you synchro summon this card using your copy of Crimson Resonator, which is really cool. We then play a single copy of Void Ogre Dragon. Void Ogre Dragon is a spell or trap negate if you have no cards in your hand, which is really cool. 1 copy of Beals, because it's one of the most powerful Dark Dragon synchro monsters in the entire game, but it does take a dark tuner monster to be able to summon this card. But it has the ability it cannot be destroyed by battle or by card effects, and when you take damage from an attack involving this card or from an opponent's card effect, this card gains the attack, which is really cool. We then also play a single copy of Dark End Dragon. This card is a great one-of in the deck because once per turn, you can have this card lose 500 attack and defense and then send 1 monster from that your opponent controls to the graveyard, and it doesn't even destroy it. It just sends it to the graveyard. And shout outs to one of my patrons, Sudds, who actually suggested this card. This card is super good in the deck and a great suggestion. So thank you so much. I appreciate this suggestion. We then play a single copy of Ancient Pixie Dragon. Ancient Pixie Dragon is a really good one-of in the deck because sometimes you will need to make a Dark Dragon synchro monster that's a level 7, and this card fits the bill for that card, which is really cool because after resolving a field spell card that was activated during your turn, you get to draw a card, which is never really going to come up, but it also has the ability that once per turn you can target a face-up attack position monster on the field and destroy that target, but there must be a face-up field spell on the field to activate and resolve this effect, so you're basically looking at your opponent to put a field spell on the field, summon out this card, and it gets a pop every turn. So that's it for the deck, guys. I hope you did enjoy it. This deck is super fun to be able to play. If you guys have never played Red Dragon Archfiend, you definitely should give this deck a try because it's a really fun deck. It's super fun to be able to summon out all sorts of forms of Red Dragon Archfiend and summon one of those powerful monsters in the entire game. So, anyways, guys, this is DarkArmedDuelist. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell near so you can come part of notification squad, and we'll see you guys in the next video. See you later, guys.